and Phase 7 map pool with Oregon now reintroduced in its new form, but our decider matchup is going to be Clubhouse. So we're going to head more towards this classic map. We talked about how many hard breach operators have been banned in the past, 24 hours in the plays, and specifically Maverick and Thatcher. How much of an effect is it going to have on Clubhouse now?
Ooh, I don't think we'll see those kind of bans here. I mean, and I know I'm going to be referencing the ping thing quite a lot, but if
Mm.
I'm a team that's facing ping as well as the giants of giants, and excuse that sort of pun there, you don't want to be going against them on a frag heavy map. That's why I think Fnatic got rid of Coastline, even though you can expect they could swing things with ping. I think they want to go for a map where you can focus more on the objective, which isn't quite as, I guess, detrimentally affected by ping. So
Mm.
I'm enjoying Clubhouse. I hope they don't ban both Thatcher and Maverick because that will make Fnatic's job exponentially harder.
I was thinking the exact same thing there, Jess. You don't want to bring them to a coastline right now on the high ping. You want to play your strategy, as due to that, gunfights are a little bit less important. And there's always this discussion going on, like, is high ping favorite or is low ping favorite? Well, normally it's going to be low ping, unless you're like absolute masters of playing on the high ping kind of side of things. But Fnatic not really used to that, of course. They have scrimmed on the higher ping, so they do have some experience with it. And we're about to see whether or not that's going to be helping them in Clubhouse.
Yeah, and this is a reason why potentially Fnatic's first ban is Coastline, right? We always talk about Coastline.
Yeah.
This is the map where you're bringing the guns for it and you just remove it because you don't want to deal with it. We've seen a lot of the APAC teams. I think that the thing that they bring to the table more than anything else, at least visibly everybody can see, is their aim game. And it is very scary to go up against a team that has the comforts in that stage. But when you look at these two and their recent history, anybody that really comes up as being favored in it, and for what reason? I'm going to address this first to you, Jess.
Hmm. Look, I think I'm not entirely sure whether or not we're going to see Giants favoring and I I don't really want to answer your question straight on here because I actually didn't fully hear it here in my ears, Milosh. So you're gonna have to repeat that one for me. I actually got two people's voices in my ears. So if you want to jump that over to Hap, I'm gonna organize what's going on with my earphones right at this singular moment. My
Stan,
apologies, ladies and gents.
go ahead.
Yes. I think, like, normally Fnatic should be able to take it, but due to the fact that we have this different kind of situation with the ping, Giants might have an opportunity to upset them and get the upper hand.
It really might be a big of a problem in there, but we're going to have to look into that during the game itself. So, victors, let's talk more about score lines. Anything you try to see in there before we compare it to what the public believes?
I think it's going to be really close. I think we might see like a 7-5 victory coming out for either of these teams. It's not going to be a blowout.
Jess?
Ooh, it'll either be a really big blowout, and I don't think that'll be anyone's fault, or it will be close, like Hap said. But I think Fnatic might be able to take it. It is Clubhouse, so I'm hoping they focus on the objective, and if they do that, they've got a really good chance.
All right, let's take a look at what people think watching from home. You can vote on these, of course, by going to the R6 Esports APAC account. Fnatic at 76% to 24 Giants. That's done. Let's go to game. Boys, enjoy.
Thank you very much, Milosh. I think we're all ready for a big game here, Dev, between Fnatic and Giants. It's very fairly put down as the match of the day, and for good reason. These are two of the biggest teams in the region, and you know what? You were so kind yesterday, giving me that 1v extra citizen. I'm going to let you take your boys, because I know that you bleed orange for Fnatic.
Oh yeah, but I mean, that said, Giants have a special place in my heart as well. It's Clubhouse, where these two gigantic APAC teams, the kings and queens of the APAC teams, do come to a head here. Clubhouse, a map where, in my opinion, both of these teams have had troubling recent matches. Giants recently lost this in the Pro League to Q-Confirm, and Fnatic recently lost this in the Pro League 7-3 to Wildcards. So I like this. It's unfamiliar territory, and both of these teams have an opportunity to take it here.
It's been a while since they both played each other on this map as well, all the way back in October 7-5, I believe it was, in their best of 3. That was when they were known as Airwolf Giants. That is, of course, since then have changed under the banner. Giants doing a good old skip from EU all the way over to being in APAC. So we'll see how things shape up here today. A lot of history behind both of these teams. I think it's pretty fair to say. You're looking at players on the side of Giants. I think every single one of them, is very fair to say, has got a decorated history. They've been in the scene for a long time. And in fact, I believe There was a thread the other day speaking around, what is the oldest core we've ever seen in a team? And I think I said, although it's not really a core because there's only two, but I believe it was Luna Metal and Hysterics have been together since the end of 2015. They are the oldest duo playing together. Thank you. They are the ones that have played together for the longest time now, all the way since 2015. It's incredible. They've nearly got 5 years of playing this game together. That's basically how old it is.
And you know what? We didn't really talk about this earlier on the analyst desk, but Giants went to the 2017 Six Invitational. In fact, both of these teams went to the 2017 Invitational, the first ever Invitational, the first ever time that APAC teams went global. Giants represented APAC on PC. Fnatic at the time, Mindfreak, represented APAC on Xbox. Both of them did a very good job. Giants actually nearly beat, at the time, the second best team, Era Eternity, who went on to come second in the whole event. So both of these teams have been around for a very long time. Serious old guard here, but also some new faces. You've got Jordan, who's just played for a few seasons now with Giants, and notably Stiggs on your right-hand side. Jordan, he was a
Jordan was their coach. Was he a sub? They were subbing coach?
They were grooming him. They brought him to the lands because they actually didn't have it. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm good mates with Luna, all right? Luna Metals, we go way back, and he's been grooming players for a really long time, and because they haven't had a coach for such a long time, they bring their subs to the events and get them to stand behind them, and Jordan had a few events doing that before he got brought onto the main lineup. And now, I mean, one of your boys, UK Massive, Gig, is actually coaching Giants, former Pro League champion from Na'Vi themselves. So Giants definitely are looking to be a team that can make an impact here. I think what we're looking at right now with Fnatic Giants is two teams that are likely to end up in the top 2, maybe the top 4 of APAC North this season.
Speaking of Gig, I'm very curious to see how much of that EU playstyle that he got from building up M&M and then into Na'Vi is carried across to this team, or if we do see a similar playstyle to what we saw in that last game not too long ago between Cyclops and Fav. Time will tell. But as it stands in the bans, we did skip over those. Very, very conventional. You've seen the Thatcher and the Maverick coming away. Kaid has to follow here because he then basically becomes invincible. It is very, very tough to get rid of his electro claws from above, if not impossible, depending on where it is that you're trying to assault into. And those two bans are nothing too surprising. We do see them pretty much all the time here on Club because there is a massive focus on opening walls, on opening hatches. So it all makes sense to me. And the final ban of the Valkyrie, we speak about this quite a lot. I think it's kind of creeping into being in the... I always call them the kind of terrible trio when we're looking at things, the Maestro, the Echo, and the Mirror. They're kind of the 3 bans that we always see in places like Europe and NA. Over here, in this case, Valkyrie stepping into the 4 as well. We are seeing it more and more in Europe at the same time. In APAC, we'll see if it comes to become more standard as well. However, we are into this first round, as you can very clearly see on your screens. You are going to see a Kali being brought along. A lot of teams have looked to bring her along here to be a replacement to Thatcher, and although maybe not as good as Thatcher would be, still very, very powerful in the right hands.
The Thatcher and Maverick bans you mentioned, very common, but not usually brought together. In fact, that's something we've just seen come into the meta recently. It happened earlier today, but we've seen teams not struggle at all with dealing with these reinforced walls despite that. And the Kali, especially in that Team Secret game yesterday, was a great, really an opportunity to see how teams can deal without those operators. But with that Kaid ban, it's pretty easy for Mag to open up the Moto hatch. And Giants, of course, going for a very much heavy site presence. Mincing up the floor in kitchen, looking down towards Armory. Could potentially see a Hibana, X-Kairos, or Thermite Charge to pop this hatch. Time will tell.
More often than not looking in towards the X-Kairos for the hatches and trying to save the exothermic 4 church wall. When you do go for that inevitable rush down the stairs, it depends what their take is here, right? Some teams like to take control of dirt and take control of kitchen, and that is all the control that you need. C4 on the ceiling going to find no one, mind you, and there are now a lot of holes in this ceiling, but I was going to say no one died for a good amount of time, but Stiggs is eventually the first casualty in this round.
The first set of X-Kairos is Impact Trick, thanks to, I believe it was... must have been Ysera, but the second one does detonate. So Fnatic have made good progress. While they have lost that initial engagement, they have great control. What is this from Speakeasy? This is super aggressive, and he gets punished for it. That's Mag there, holding down the 4, preventing that aggression through Moto. Like the idea there, Luna was feeding him the info, but it didn't turn out to pay dividends.
Everyone's lying down staring at the hatch. There's a very big focus on the kitchen here, so you can tell they're trying to go for this back plant side of Armory, right? But as we saw from a few teams yesterday, if you ignore what's going on in dirt, you're going to find yourself being punished. And right now it's Jordan holding into that spot. Unless they can catch him or Ysera, they may well just be dropping into their deaths here. There goes one, and Luna is there waiting. They've got a 3-way crossfire onto this hatch. So I have a feeling that Fnatic's plan is going to fall apart here unless they can get someone else into a position to cause some upsets. Whether that is coming down blue or coming through dirt, one of those things has got to happen. But in my mind, they're already starting to run out of time as there's only 15 seconds left on the clock.
Tex manages to get in though. Needs to pick up that diffuser. He's trying to plant safe here on the dark corner. But is there adequate coverage from Mag and Mentalist? Mag lands the shot he needs to, but plant is denied from Luna. And that's going to win the round for Giants. Fnatic, they did their best, but no answer and no way to get that plant down.
It was mad how he could still drop, knowing that there were 2 or 3 people watching that angle and almost get away with getting a plant down as well. So almost a slip up there from Giants at the final hurdle. But ultimately that round plays out and Fnatic are punished for only having that one angle to push through. As mentioned, I think when you're attacking somewhere like the downstairs of this map, you need to be focusing a bit more on multiple angles at once. You can't rely on just trying to drop through a hatch because, as we've all seen from our games, no doubt, you drop through a hatch and if someone's watching, they see your legs long before you even see them, and it should be a free enough kill for them in that instance. Heading upstairs into CCTV and Cash, and we're seeing the Bandit being brought along. No surprise there. Going to see a bit of a hole coming in, I think, onto that east wall.
Yeah, well, moving over to the Cash bomb site, as you mentioned, Kennel's Wall always heavy contention, but typically when unbanned, Maverick is the focus for the Kennel's Wall, but with Maverick off the board, Thatcher off the board, Fnatic will have to get a little bit creative, likely Mentalist to use the Lance, I don't know, I'm not from Adelaide, I'm going to say Lance.
I'll say Lance, because I don't, so look, there's 2 very distinct ways of saying words, right? If you're from certain parts of the UK, and Gio is from this part, she'll say Lance and grass and castle, but I say castle, grass, Lance. So don't worry, you're on my side here, it's all good.
No, I'm from Australia, so I say grass, but I also say Lance. I don't know, I'm a bit all over the place.
You're something in the middle, mate. It's fine. We both love you.
Yeah, oh, thanks, mate. Well, nice setup from Giants here. Not really much to try to deny that main wall. Hysterics has the Bandit. Not placed any batteries thus far. I think he's trying a Bandit trick.
No, but why is there a hole in the floor already? Like, that's the sort of thing you'd leave to an attacker to do, right?
Well, it looks like Giants will be holding fairly heavily down in Lounge, so that hole from Hysterics can be used for him to contest, thank you, towards the little storage room there. Mag ready to pop this wall with the Thermite charge. Mentalist gonna chuck that Lance down. Lance, oh my goodness. I'm gonna think about that every time. It's like when someone says, hey, don't be aware of your breathing, and then all you can think about is like your breathing. It's like Lance, Lance, whatever. All right, Hysterics gets one back. That's going to be a Thermite charge saying bye-bye. Oh, no, the Zephyr is successful there. The concussion denies the Bandit from getting that animation down successfully, and Fnatic quite efficiently have opened the Kennel's Wall.
They have indeed, by sticking it on that right-hand panel. It is closer to that drone hole, and there is just a very easy chance, well, a very hard chance, I should say, for the Bandit to be able to successfully get that trick off. And that at least inside a minute, moving straight over now to push on to look towards construction. It's a very standard take that you see on this map, is to look towards the east breach, get that open, leave one player watching it, move the rest of the team over towards construction, and with the limited numbers that the enemy team hopefully should have defending the site to the north, you should be able to get in and try and get a plant down from there. So good pace so far from Fnatic. 90 seconds in, have already got themselves control of both sites. So both rooms, sorry. Probably here looking more towards construction, though, as no one currently is inside.
That said, Fnatic still haven't taken control of Lounge down below the bomb site where Giants were hard holding, and that means it's very difficult, if not impossible, for Fnatic to get a plant down in either bomb site, unless they have some kind of flank watch. Tex finds the opening, however. That's Jordan going down, the aggressive Roma over in the master side, but Luna is on the prowl downstairs, looking for any pressure around stock. Also has the angle up onto the construction hatch. Fnatic, pretty good progress, plus an opening pick. It's a good start, but where can they go from here?
Well, hopefully in towards the site now that they've done the hard yards and started looking to get set up in the right places, but there are these members of Giants roaming around, as you mentioned, they haven't quite dealt with just yet. We had Jordan holding out towards bedroom, which has wasted a good 45 seconds or so, so good on him for burning time down. But with 30 seconds left, Fnatic now need to really look to go for the execute, and they still haven't dealt with Luna playing on the downstairs here. Was going to find a free kill, but Tex peeks him out first and gets that kill. Will find himself down in response, mind you, and is now going to drop himself down. Of course, being on Sophia has withstand, will get himself back on his feet. The Fnatic are back in action.
But Lusty, does he have enough X-Kairos to open up a full rotate hole? It is, in fact, but 15 seconds to go. This will be a bloodbath. 3 players left from Giants. Hysterics to find 2 on the flank through construction. The diffuser is down. And to close it out, that's hysterics. Giants take out that round with an explosive retort to Fnatic.
Kind of things that we saw Na'Vi yesterday doing against Secret. Like Loki charging his way through defensive lineups and completely disrupting what the other side were trying to do. That's entirely on Hysterics taking it upon himself there to say, you know what? We know what the execute that's going to come in here. We know there's 5 seconds on the clock. We know that they don't have the diffuser over on constructions on east side, sorry. The plant is definitely coming into construction. What can we do? Play nice and aggressive. Do not give them time to execute, disrupt their setup before it comes to light. Really good play by Giants. They now find themselves at 2-0, heading into the offside of gym and bedroom. I've seen so many evolvements of the way that this site gets played, in a very controversial opinion. I actually think it has gotten a little bit worse over time. A lot of teams are now looking to abandon the west wall entirely and give control of that corridor over to the other side. I did used to like it more when we saw at least some form of time wasting going on there. Then withdrawing into bathroom and wasting more time there, with the player contesting from inside of stocks to the north or inside of logistics. So in my mind, I don't know, teams give it up a little bit too easy, but maybe that's kind of part of the play, right? That's the bait they're trying to play for, and say, look, you can come inside, but you aren't leaving that corridor because they're watching every which angle you can possibly try and push in from.
Yeah, but Des, let's not forget that Thatcher and Maverick both banned means that breaching this wall on Jacuzzi is much more difficult. Fnatic do have the Kali in their arsenal to clear off the mute jammers from Luna, but I mean, I guess Luna could try to mute trick. I mean, it is a thing. I don't know if it'll be a successful thing, but Fnatic should be pretty comfortable dealing with this without too much worry. So it's about how Giants deal with it once that Jacuzzi breach does open. An extended hold all the way to top cache stairs with Ysera on the Goyo. Will likely be pivotal. Kennel's wall also reinforced. Perhaps a mute jammer was placed over there, forcing Fnatic to use a lance. But most of Fnatic spawning on the west side of the map. Stig's going to just nice and easy open up the Logi hatch. He's just going to leave his drone there. No, okay, he's going to get on the drone. Drone out logistics. And yep, it is in fact Kennel's the first step, first piece of the puzzle for Fnatic.
Starting point. I always worry about this side of the map, and I saw a ping then coming in from the attackers. Fnatic know that there needs to be some focus on this balcony, and rather than taking control of CCTV here, it looks like the focus instead might turn out to be a little bit different, where actually they're going to keep the Kali playing long range and watching that window instead. So interesting, because now Mentalist can be a little more flexible when they are looking to try and assault in towards the south windows. They have got this wall open. It's always the downside of playing with a mute is that, yes, once it's on the wall and it has been pulled, you are not going to destroy that gadget. You are instead going to leave it on the wall just unable to be triggered, and you can make use of the Kali for things like that as long as you get your timing right. So good start. They have got the wall open, 60 seconds in. Still more time to go, no doubt, to start making a push forward from this one. And they need to be so careful here. If Giants try and peek out onto this breach, you are going to get your head clean taken off by that Kali.
Of course, we didn't mention earlier, but Mentalist, a former player for the Giants, groomed by Lunametal and the rest of the team for years before turning 18 and joining that roster. But when he was forced with the decision between leaving the esports scene and ending his career prematurely or joining Fnatic, I think that was a fairly easy decision for him. While Fnatic do have this Jacuzzi wall open, Giants haven't really forfeited much other ground, and Fnatic decided to get, I don't want to say lazy, but they're trying to simplify things. They don't want to go for a full cache take. They know how much resources and time that's going to take away from them. But I think that might bite them in the backside here. As you can see, trying to play on the south balcony is a real struggle for Mag with that presence over in CCTV.
Being contested from the stairs here by Speakeasy as well. Going to find one onto Mentalist on the outside of this breach, and that is not the ideal way they wanted this round to go. We've had about 75 seconds past since they got this open, and they're still finding themselves a little bit stuck on what to do here. They do now have someone playing up on main stairs window, so can contest it, but they are absolutely stuck. What's up?
The Kali being killed there means that Fnatic don't have any way to remove the mute jammer on the wall in the bathroom, so Lunametal is completely safe, and Fnatic have no way to unhinge these Giant players.
It's going to be a charge into Jim for them, I think, here. It's exactly what they're looking to try and go for, but the problem is, if there's someone hanging around the corner, is there someone on the other side of the wall? It's like a monster in the closet. Got to be so wary as they try and breach in here. Still got to keep an eye on CCTV because they ignored it for the start of the round. A second kill comes in for Speakeasy. The crossfires are there, but Lusty finds himself a couple. Make it 3. He finds a triple kill by exploding into the site.
No
but
way!
Speakeasy has got behind them up main stairs. It doesn't matter what you do on side. If there's someone approaching you from the flank, you are still going to lose the round. Giants taking round number 3.
Giants consistent here, and Fnatic, it looks like they're trying to simplify things, but it's so difficult when the Kali dies early. You don't have the util to open up into bathroom, and they made a desperate attempt. Props to Lusty for that 3K, but at the end of it, Giants just had too many players still up, and Lusty couldn't protect that diffuser plant going down. Giants, though, looking in top form right now. Still Stigs, unfortunately, the newest player into Fnatic, yet to find a frag this game. He was known as the under-18 gunner for such a long time. Turned 18, jumped straight on into Pro League, and man, I just, it's been a struggle. This is his huge opportunity right now, and he's, no doubt, he's the kind of player who is quite hard on himself, you know, disappointed, has high expectations, and the question is, when you're finally in such a prestigious league, playing under such a prestigious banner as Fnatic, and you're really struggling to find your footing, what kind of an effect does that have on your mentality pervading through this match?
Absolutely. Let's see how this site plays out. We are now into round number 4, so we're going to see a full reset of how things set up before. I think my worry with this site that we saw previously from Fnatic, and in fact across all 3 sites, has been they start really well. The first 60 to 75 seconds, can't fault them. Round number 2 had East Wall open, rotated over to construction straight away. Round before, they had back in round number 1, they had all of the flooring here in the hallway opened up, and in that round just a second ago, got that wall open on the west side in record time, thanks to some good coordination between the Thermite and the Kali. The problem is, the mid-round falls apart. They either leave themselves attacking from one direction, they leave themselves as a kind of question mark piece around, well, what are we actually holding here? What is the play? What do we do when plan A fails? And it's that adaptation that I think they're going to struggle with a little bit if Giants keep them guessing the way that they have so far. We'll see if this round changes out, if they can fix the mistakes of last time round, which, as we mentioned at the time, was only sending a one-dimensional attack down through the kitchen hatch. We need to see them get control of dirt or look to get something inside of blue as well.
Aggressive play from Jordan once again on the main stairs, but he can shoot a drone and back off. Really, that was basically just a free drone kill for him. He's fairly safe here, as long as the attackers don't open up above him. Stigs may well do in just a moment. And this drone economy is not looking too great for Fnatic at the moment. With already Mentalist lost both of his drones, one of the core support players will just have to rely on calls from his teammates' drones from now on.
Yeah, 7 out in the field isn't horrific, I think, for about halfway into the round as we start to approach that sort of point, but you are right, losing those early on when you're kind of the blood playing on the drones for your team does mean, well, you're called into action a little bit sooner. Fnatic now, for the most part, seems to be going for a similar take as last time. There is a lot of focus around kitchen, but there are a couple more members elsewhere that I didn't quite catch a second ago. Medics, can we take a zoom out and see where everyone is right now and where they're setting up? Grenades aren't quite connecting. On the side of Fnatic, so upper floor for me. Okay, all around kitchen again. I'm not sold, bro. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, we do have
blue.
a
Text
single
in blue.
player
Good.
here. Yeah. Tex is looking to solo blue, but it's going to be very difficult to clear out. Let's see, is this successful? Any impact trick from Ysera? No, decides to back on out. Too risky for him. But for me, the question mark is, look, Fnatic, like you're saying, it's fairly one-dimensional. They're just going for kitchen for now. They've opened Moto Hatch as well, I believe, but not a significant amount of presence around blue, and also no significant presence around dirt either. I'm not sold on this kitchen take, to be honest. I think that the way Giants are positioned, maybe a church take would have been better. I know it's very dangerous, but you know, don't question it until it's failing. Fnatic aren't in a terrible position right now, but 40 seconds, and they need to find more success in their plants than they did in round number 1.
They have got dirt open, as Medics very kindly just showed us. So they've done the hard yards, right? They've got someone over blue. They've got themselves dirt open. They've got themselves control of kitchen. They're trying to play for a smoke execute with Mentalist here, which I guess is a slight change in before, but you're already down to 3 drones here with 20 seconds left. Where have we seen this before? Back in round number 1, they were in a very similar spot, but Tex down through oil is going to find one, going to push his way up into blue, and here is going to give them something to think about. Finds the second kill. How does he walk around that? Well, Sarah gets one from the back of Armory, mind you, or more towards the front of Armory, you can say. It's still a 4 versus 2. The plant is going down. It's a 3 versus 2 as Jordan springs out from inside the dirt. Going to find a couple of kills for himself, but not enough to be able to save this round. Fnatic will close round number 4 out. It is a mad burst at the end, all led by Tex finding himself a great couple of early kills.
It goes to show that flank, that kind of little bit of pressure on the other side of the map, in this case from Tex from Oil Pit, can make all the difference. Also, I want to give some credit to old-mate Stigs. He found his first kill there, helped secure that plant down with the SMG-11. Nice stuff there from Fnatic. It is a scary moment, right? When there's, what, 5-10 seconds left and you're trying to plant and it's like 3 versus 3 or what have you. But Fnatic finding those first 2 kills from Tex and only being traded after that, plus a few other initiations from Fnatic, meant that it was really tit for tat, and Giants never had the numbers to overwhelm Fnatic like they had previously.
A lot of it came down to that executing kitchen, to be fair. As much as we've been sat here lamenting it and saying this one-dimensional attack is not going to do you any favors, as soon as Tex gives you something else to worry about, you're like, imagine being the Maestro in that spot. Which way do you sit and look there? Okay, you're behind a shield. Sure, you can try and ignore the Zofia. What if she's got an impact left? What if she blows that shield up and you die in the fire? Do you have to be paying enough attention to the hatch to see one coming through the drop? Like, it's very, very difficult, and it does draw your attention both ways. I realized, by the way, the reason for that hole is so they can see down in towards Adam below. Main reason why you're seeing it so big, I don't know. Normally it's a bit smaller, so you have like a small couple of pixels to be able to spray through. Not sure why it's so big, but it is. We'll get over it.
10 seconds.
Giants seem to be in top form, but Fnatic at least have that saving grace that previous round. You know, I was thinking about this this game, you know, for weeks, right, or for however long we've had this schedule. And I was thinking, look, Fnatic and Giants, definitely very close match teams. I think that Giants have a more stable roster, at least they have had, and obviously Fnatic changing quite a few things and now bringing on Stigs. A bit of turbulence there, not full dominance from Fnatic, but we know them. They're so good at adapting. They've also brought on more support staff coming this season as well. So maybe that's going to help Fnatic a little bit with the adaptations that needed. Lunar Metal! Is that what? This is to counter the Zofia trick? This is the most 200 IQ play I have ever seen. The only way that Fnatic managed to open up this Kennel's wall last round was because Hysterix's bandit trick was denied thanks to the Zofia concussions. But you can't concuss through the drone hole if Luna's got his bum sticking in it.
Wow. There's a team in the UK called Fierce who would stick a shield above the bandit, they'd reinforce the wall, and then stick an operator where the clash is now. Just really basically saying, no, you will not get this open. You will not going to impact the bandit. It will stay closed. And so far, well, they're doing a bloody wonderful job of it, even if it means Clash parking her bottom in front of the drone hole for half the round. We'll see how it evolves, and we'll see what Fnatic can do in response. They can still get underneath, mind you. It looks like that's what they're trying to go for here, and there it is. Hysterix did try and contest there, but didn't land any crucial shots, which should mean this now is opened up for free, and now Luna can go back to being the more mobile version of Clash, where the aim is to more slow down the attackers and give them something else to worry about.
Hats off to Fnatic for that mid-round adaptation. A lot of teams would look at that Clash and say, well, we can't Zofia trick now, what do we do? But Fnatic wasted no time there, decided, okay, let's clear lounge. And since Giants were dedicating more players upstairs, they didn't have the presence required to prevent Fnatic from taking lounge, and that denied the bandit trick nice and effectively thanks to the explosives and the lifeline from Tex. So great stuff. Now, hats off to Tex so far, fairly new to the roster still, and he's been doing a great job for Fnatic. Now, open up that Kennel's wall. Fnatic can look to take Con, but Giants aren't going to let it go that easily. Hysterix still aggressive in here. A nice C4 thrown out. Tex takes a bit of damage for it, but the real consideration for me here is Fnatic only have 45 seconds left, and we're still in a 5 versus 5.
Looking the same way they're still trying to find control of construction, it feels like here, only just managing to get their way past those mute jammers. They have got themselves in the spot where they can start positioning themselves, but let's not forget what happened last round when Hysterix, admittedly this round on much lower health than before, managed to charge his way outside and cause them a lot of trouble. You've also got a Goyo shield position just in front of that door, so if they do charge through, it can be as easy for Hysterix or someone else who's now dead, so maybe not quite him, to pop that Goyo shield, but very aptly dealt with by Fnatic early on. And now that's starting to burn out. Maybe now we start to see a push coming in.
Stigs to find that grenade there. Mentalist looking to peek on in, and Lusty's been on fire so far. He finds one. Jordan does get one back. It's all on Speakeasy. Only 2 players to find, and Lusty has to stick that diffuser. Stigs, the pressure is on him to hold fast, and he does get that final kill. Speakeasy goes down. Fnatic have an adequate answer here for Giants on Clubhouse.
Fnatic definitely playing into the 20-second meta today, I think. More like the 10-second one, because all these pushes are coming through in the dying seconds of a round, but 2 crucial grenade kills. It's exactly the same as when they attacked downstairs. We look towards that double kill coming out of Tex, pushing in from Oil. In that round just then, it was 2 big grenade kills coming out of Stigs. We haven't really spoken about him too much so far, and I think it's worth touching on Stigs as a player for a second. He obviously stepped in to replace Virtue, who earlier this year went over to go and join G2, I believe, at the start of March. Stigs came in end of April, and everyone was asking the question, you know, we've had a good chat about this as well, is he an apt replacement for Virtue? Can he step up? Because it is very hard to exceed a player who has just gone to G2, equally being recognized for his fantastic talent. How have you found him so far?
Well, this is Stiggs' first actual game with Fnatic, and it took a few to warm up, but he's always been the super confident player, and he came from the team Pittsburgh Knights, which were caricatured by their aggression, especially on their attack. Kind of similar to what we just saw earlier from CAG and Fav. The teams that are like, okay, we're ready to attack site. It doesn't have to, we don't have to wait until there's 20 seconds left. If there's a minute and a half left and we're ready to attack site, we're just going to flip the switch and all go for it, send straight away, and they have so much confidence in their gunfights. That's the kind of player that we know Stiggs to be. He's a crazy fragger. He's so much confidence in himself. We didn't see that in the first few rounds, however, and that did concern me. But I think he's finally found his feet a little bit. Found four kills in the last 2 rounds, which is they're pretty good. 2 kills across each of them.
I mean, even taken away from just being the number of kills, right? The fact that the role he's playing is normally the prime target for a C4 or like a Pulse from playing below, as we're seeing in this round coming out of Luna, but so far, I believe, hasn't found himself caught by one of those. So, playing the role well, fitting into the team, exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, I'm loving it. And it's really great to see that Fnatic, they haven't lost their identity of being that team that can counter, whether it's between games, between maps, or between rounds, or even mid-round, as we have seen just recently. Fnatic have the adaptations that they need. That said, they've struggled here on this Church and Arsenal attack. They did win it just one prior, but it was close. And Giants deciding to revisit Church and Arsenal instead of retaking Gym Bedroom tells us that Giants have confidence in their take as well, their hold of this bomb site, but still no roam presence, very much an anchor-centric take. And for the most part, Giants appear to be doing the same thing. I don't think they're going to get caught off this time from any late flank from Tex through blue, and I think that they're definitely going to be very keenly denying that kitchen hatch as much as possible.
I'm really curious to see if their attack actually focuses on main stairs here, because they're putting Mentalist back onto playing on the Kali here rather than playing on the Capitao. It all came down to that smoke execute in the last round, so this just screams to me they want to look more towards Church Wall or towards some hard breachable location for the Thermite to get into, and the prime target on this map is always going to be this wall that Medics is so wonderfully showing us now. They want to get that wall open and try and plant in behind one of these bars on the left or on the right. That's what I think they're going to do. Right now they're positioning inside a kitchen. I'm not convinced with this lineup it's going to be the best idea, because they don't have smokes the same way they did last round.
And Stiggs to find another one. He's really found his feet here and coming into his own for Fnatic. Doing his job perfectly to deny these impact tricks as much as possible. Ysera still has one left, but Stiggs watching these holes. Ysera knows there's no chance that he can get in there for an impact trick, but Mag looking for this flank.
Finally.
The proximity alarm does reveal his position, and now Ysera is very much keen on it. He can pre-fire with the bullet hose here. Mag has to be extra careful, but if Mag can find the opening here, that's so big for Fnatic.
It would have been, but he's down to half HP here, and I think has already abandoned that plan to try and tackle Ysera inside of dirt, or maybe it's more of a bait, because I think he's even switched to go back in. 45 seconds left, and the team is still bunched up here inside of kitchen. If they kill Ysera here, this is absolutely absolutely amazing for them. Sorry, I was trying to imagine the word, apparently. Absolutely amazing for them, because they have this control of all the back armory, and outside of someone spraying them inside a church, they can get away with it, as they have done now. Ysera is distracted. He can't cover. Lusty's trying to go for the plant, does get forced to come off that one. The kills are flying back and forth. It's a 2 versus 2, and they know where the last couple are coming from. They know they can pinch Ysera, but he comes out and finds a kill. It's a double in this round for him. It's a 1 versus 2 for Stiggs. He goes for the big balls play of dropping straight down through the hatch and find the diffuser, but 9 seconds left on the clock. Gets himself shot from down towards the end of long, and Giants will pick up round number 6, careering us into the second half of the map.
I'm not going to be too unhappy if I'm Fnatic right now, looking at a 2-4 scoreline, especially after how dominating Giants looked in those early rounds. Fnatic can head onto their own defense, comfortable with a Thatcher and Maverick banned out. Here as they move to Cash and CCTV. First try. In fact, no, okay, there is the Bandit. Yeah. I wonder if, I mean, I assume the Giants is just going to do the Zofia concussion trick that we saw Fnatic do. So unless if Fnatic are going to try and plug the drone hole with a clash, I don't know what is, okay, they're actually 6-picking off the Bandit. So they're like, okay, we'll give you the wall for free. We don't mind. They're probably going to play more of like an EU meta style where they revolve around shields. Well, my probably is going to bring a shield. And then instead of defending the breach itself, they're going to defend the shields.
See, we in EU love a good few shields. We love a grenade spam, especially on things like Consulate, Yellow Stairs. becomes a right war of like artillery come firing up the stairs, and there's always in there somewhere interweaved a frag grenade that just manages to find someone. It's a thing of beauty to see, but I agree with you, this is a very European style, maybe because Fnatic have had that big international experience at things like Six Invitational and got to pick up quite a few things from teams there, or maybe you've been studying very strictly on what is going on around the world and trying to see what they think will fit best. And Giants, as we mentioned earlier on, are of course being coached by Gig, formerly from M&M and then Na'Vi. A lot of things to take away from those two teams and bring here as well. But I equally think this is probably one of the more ideal ways to play this map, especially as defenders, because you do force the attackers to burn tons of utility that when they do get into the late round, you might have left a Maestro camera somewhere, or there's a Goyo shield you haven't quite cleared out. And those things can really trip you up in the dying seconds of a round. And from what we've seen from Fnatic so far, it is all about these last 10 to 20 seconds of a round. Nothing to say we won't see the same from Giants here now that they're the ones on attack.
One core difference here for Giants is the lack of a Kali. With Thatcher, Maverick, and Kali out of play here, Giants, you do question how they're going to remove the mute jammers from this Kennel's wall. First set of X-Kairos rings out on the garage. That generates a nice angle all the way from outside garage to the little window that connects garage to the CCTV itself, and you can cut off any rotations between those two rooms with that. So what's the play here for Giants? Because they're not focusing on Kennel's wall just yet. Is it mostly a garage-centric take? This seems
this is old school.
Fairly unusual, but I wouldn't underestimate them. Fnatic moving around some utility to give Mentalist an ADS there. I like that. Mid-round adaptations once again striking through for Fnatic.
There's always going to be reasons behind these things, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that I know better than a pro player or that they haven't sat and thought this through, but the main reason why you'd open up that East breach and then look to push into garage is that no one can very safely play at window and spray you as you're trying to enter your way in. And it's kind of a bit of an impasse at the minute. You've got a couple of members playing on the door of garage here for Fnatic. You've got one playing up on catwalk. And it's kind of the question for Giants is, well, where does your attack start here? Where do you look to push in? Where do you look to start applying some pressure on the side of Fnatic? And as it stands right now, the answer apparently is through the garage door. Jordan's going to find Mentalist as he gets a little bit too aggressive, trying to push onto those looking in towards the lower side of garage.
Mentalist had ants in his pants, but his former team shuts him down. I like this from Fnatic, generating these vertical angles, so Speakeasy needs to be cautious. Magnet also downstairs, going to contest up through the hatch towards Stock, but there you go, Speakeasy did get injured as he dropped down, and Mag to finish off that one as well. Giants still in that numbers advantage, but Mag has a strong position if Giants are not careful entering garage. But what is the main push here for Giants? Lusty's still on the roam. I mean, Medics, can we have another look at the bomb site and see if they've actually breached anything yet? No, in fact, no control of construction, no presence in garage as of yet, and Kennel's wall still fully reinforced as there's no Kali to remove that mute jammer. What is the play here for Giants?
I mean, if they had an extra minute on the clock, I'd kind of understand if you're trying to get full control of this and clear those out that are playing downstairs. In this case, Mag, and they will catch him, so a good pincer onto the roamer. This puts him in a 4 versus 2, so maybe this aggressive roam game coming out of Fnatic has slowed Giants down, but now that Giants have dealt with it, they know there's only 2 left on site potentially, and they can try and win these fights. What a great swing coming out of Luna. Finds one, it's all down to Lusty by himself, takes a couple of shots, he's down to a third of his HP. Has got to do what he can. Amazing C4! It's a double kill! Huge from Lusty! What?
Lusty, the clutch god from ANZ. A C4 thrown over the top to take out the planter, and then a nice little spray with the Vector. Unbelievable. What a clutch.
I have seen some wicked clutches in the last year and a half of casting Siege, but that is up there with one of the best. Genuinely incredible. The composure after having 2/3 of your health taken away, to go for the C4, to catch double, to then get the next one that steps up onto the cupboard or whatever it is in the corner. Unbelievable from Lusty to save that round there for the boys. Brilliant play, and at least gets Fnatic off to a good start here on the defense. The round looked very, very weird to begin with. We weren't quite sure where Giants were going with it until they started picking up those kills. And it looked like everything was going their way. You're in a 4 versus 1, for God's sake. That should be as clean as it gets and as comfortable a round win as it should be. Take your trades, but no. Lusty, far too composed under pressure. God damn, I'm watching that back later.
We have to see on the replay here. Lusty found the first kill. This was a 1 versus 4 clutch. The perfect C4 that Fnatic needed. And then trying to find the kill at the last moment was Hysterics. Lusty.
I just want to pause that 2 seconds, right? Because I think one thing we really need to give some commendation to there is Medic's observing. I think from his point of view, if you saw a C4 go over the wall and find 2 kills, you were kind of like, oh, okay, nice. But seeing that sail through the air, connect onto 2, and then find that second spray, perfect observing. Thank you so much for that,
5
Medics.
seconds left.
Best observer in the world.
Attackers
No
are
doubt.
locate a bomb and defuse it.
Got to suck up to your
Okay,
production team so
I'm
they don't
gonna-
throw you
I'm
under
gonna
the
drink
bus
of
later,
water,
Des.
right?
Yeah,
Just
oh,
a little
please,
bit, right?
take a moment, take a breather. That's what Giants needs to do now. They were up 3-0. Now they're looking at 4-3, a marginal lead over Fnatic here. Fnatic successful defense. It really did hinge on, like we were saying, Giants unable to hard breach any of the key walls. And it's funny because we talked about how the priority for Fnatic was actually not trying to deny those main walls, but with Giants not bringing, well, firstly, not bringing the Kali, and secondly, not clearing the mute jammers through vertical, it meant that they ran out of options by the end of it. I think they decided that breaching the walls wasn't a high priority, but really just gave Fnatic far too much freedom. Mentalist to find the first pick as well for Fnatic. Nice little job there. And Speaky is one of those key players for Giants taken out.
Zofia as well. I'm not quite sure if it had claymores or breach charges, but either way, a lot of utility stacked up on that operator. No, Medics, you can't see it in full view, I'm afraid. I wish.
Worst observer ever.
Yeah, unfortunate, but hey, it's fine, it's okay. We don't know. We'll find out next round, hopefully if you play Zofia again. But it does leave quite a lot of utility off the table for you that you might be looking to go when you try and play for that execute. Right now, the focus on getting these hatches open. They're not looking towards kitchen. Bar hatch going to be the first point of opening a field. I'm never 100% sure how I feel about using exothermics to do so, but maybe they're trying to save those X-Kairos for later, or they are very aware that the chances are they are going to see these X-Kairos being fucked out inside of kitchen. It sounds by the looks of it, actually, they've changed it out, got rid of the exothermic from the bar hatch and opened it instead with an X-Kairos. So fair enough.
A lot of the time in meta these days, because of how prolific impact tricking that kitchen hatch is, you save almost all of your Hibana X-Kairos for that kitchen hatch, because assuming that the Maestro player, in this case Lusty with the impacts in the pocket, is probably going to be successful in destroying at least one or two sets of your X-Kairos, but looks like Giants seeming to focus here on the main church wall instead of going for kitchen take. Now I prefer this kind of a take. Nice little C4 thrown over, but Hysterix is very wary of that. Is Jordan able to take out these mid jammers with a frag grenade? No, what's that? And that'll destroy the thermite charge as well. Ysera still has one left, but Jordan, what are you doing, mate?
No!
That is not the play. That kind of a mistake, not only destroying a thermite charge, but team killing your thermite. That's the round for Giants gone.
No, dude. Not like this. That's all I'll say, but you are right. Round is gone. They had such a brilliant drone on the top of church wall as well, so they could see exactly what the other side were doing. They had all the tools in the world, but apparently not the aim to weave that grenade through to perfection. And just like the rest of this game has been so far, it's coming down to the dying seconds to close things out. We know full well that Luna can't do much setup here on blue. Things are going to go to Fnatic, and we find things all square at 4 apiece.
Operators, you have run out of time.
Only so much you can do there, and honestly, I thought Giants were set up very well. The church take would have been really nice, but sometimes just missing a grenade spells death for your entire team. Missing 2 grenades, I mean, that's just the nail in the coffin. Giants on the back foot now. Fnatic have clawed their way back into this game, but it's only 2 defenses. Giants were able to win 4, and Fnatic will have to keep this up. Let's just take a look and appreciate Lusty. 10 kills and 3 deaths right now. On fire, playing support. Maybe he's been playing Hibana, and now he's playing Castle. You know, people love to say UMP, worst gun in the game. Lusty is a player you never want to underestimate.
You know, there's something big brain about this, right? Like Canadians saying, old as you guys know the magical word, and I'm playing with the worst gun in the game. And Lusty's doing things like this. Now, taking the jokes aside, right? Lusty is in a spot where he got 4 kills in a single round. Of course, it's very easy to see the stats padded up after a really good round like that, but let's not take it away from him. Even without that play, he is still up there with the rest of his team contributing, and that's exactly what you love to see coming out of support players. So well played to him. Things do sit all square there at 4 apiece, so let's see what the next few rounds still have in store for
5
us.
seconds left before insertion. Attackers are moving out to
So for
locate a
Giants,
bomb.
last round, the lack of Kali to deny the hard breach denial. Man, there are so many counters in Rainbow Six that it's like you deny the denial of the denial, right? It's like, oh my goodness. So the lack of a Kali is going to make this a bit more difficult for Giants to open up some of these core walls, particularly that main wall onto the kennels for one. into CCTV, but also jacuzzi wall into that top hallway near GM. And the thing is, there's no way to remove that with vertical. Magnet's actually going to try and bandit trick it. I guess the best option here is to play on the south balcony and destroy both of those castle barricades, and then take out the bandit batteries or the bandit playing there. But with Stiggs playing the Wamai with his magnets inside of Jim, I don't really see it possible for Giants to breach both of those castle barricades and leverage that position.
They're doing the right thing here, right? They know they need control of South Balcony to get rid of the armory walls, and this is why I love Clubhouse. It is essentially a map that turns into a puzzle game. You gotta get control of Cash first, well, CCTV first and Cash. So you then have control of the west window facing off on South Balcony. Then you play South Balcony, you remove the bandit. Then you open the west wall, and then you look to try and make a plant inside a gym. So there's like a checklist, as everyone always says, of 4 or 5 things you need to go through to get control of the site and try and go for a plant. And that's exactly what Giants are doing. My biggest worry is we are 90 seconds in, and they've only just about got step 1 done.
Ooh, needs to find this kill. Jordan, you gotta win those. Got the flank. No, you missed him! Mag gets away with his life. No, he doesn't. Thankfully, there's a trade there, and Giants actually get quite a few. They only lose 1 player, and they find 3 in the meantime. 4 versus 2. Definitely a strong position for Giants, and the round turned on its head. But the question is, can Mentalist find a cheeky pick here, untraded, to even up this man count?
Hoping he finds something at the very least. I mean, Fnatic may be hanging around a little bit too long there. I feel they wasted enough time and probably could have said at the 90-second mark, it's time to back away, keep all 5 alive and get back on site, because they still got to do 2 or 3 more things here. And we know exactly how that's played out previously when the clock has run down to almost 0. The attacking team is at a massive disadvantage. We'll see if it plays out a similar way though when there's only 2 left on the field. Still 4 alive for the side of Giants. And now they have control of the east side. Stock looks to be the kind of area they're looking towards, or logistics in this case. 1 up on the roof, but ready to be contested by Mentalist, who is crouching and waiting inside, daring someone to peek over this hole.
Fnatic, they can be fairly confident here that no one will push from Jacuzzi. An Evil Eye to spot out Speakeasy means Mentalist has got a good chance in this fight, but he gets taken out regardless. All on Stiggs, the newest member. 1 versus 4, finds 1. But can't find any of the rest, and that is Giants to get themselves back into it, regain that lead, finally break Fnatic's defensive streak.
They do. It's a way to start pulling things back and break out of the curse it felt like we were heading towards there. But with things carry on this way, we're going to find a very, very similar scoreline, it feels, and things may close up at 6-6 and see us go into that overtime, which would be almost fitting, I think, of what has been coined as the best match of the day. In this case, you can understand why, watching the way these 2 teams are playing. Is it absolutely perfect? Is it like World Cup top-level, grand final level material? No, there's a few things we spotted around one-dimensional attacks, or maybe staying a bit too long on these extended holds, but it is good stuff. It has got the right intentions, and this is the kind of stuff that can build up as the season progresses, as we start looking towards the end of Stage 1 in a few weeks' time. Still a lot more games to come. The best thing for me in my mind is when they have to start playing again at some point. Like, it's a shame we only get to see them this once. Playing again against each other may well be the same case in the second stage of Swiss. That'd be mega.
Fnatic and Giants are the 2, I like to call them the royal family of APAC. If Fnatic is the king, Giants is the queen, then you've got, like, I don't know, Norengo, who might be the duke these days. And, well, there's a fierce rivalry between Fnatic and Giants. Not only did Fnatic poach one of Giants' players in Mentalist only after Season 10, but this rivalry goes back really as far as time. I mentioned these 2 teams were the only 2 from APAC to represent at the Six Invitational 2017. And ever since then, every APAC finals has been a battle between these 2 teams, and Fnatic were always the victors until Season 10, when Giants got their revenge and established themselves as one of the top here in APAC. But this is a telling game here on the debut day of the APAC North League. Which team will come up on top?
Well, I'll tell you what, Giants are not messing about, because look who's joining us on the field. It is Mr. Monty himself. We've seen a good number of teams, especially in the European Challenger League, make good use of this to play against teams who either aren't equipped or simply aren't used to dealing with a Monty-style play. The normal thing to do on this map is to take control of Garage and send him up Catwalk and have him essentially stand in the window, which has currently been castled off, so we'll need some help in getting that removed. That gives you a lot of control over the actual site itself, so you can then look to go for a plant. It is even worse if he manages to get through that window, though, look to get on site and then pin you back. But as it stands right now, they've got to just take control of this side of the map because it's playing out the same way as the last round would have. Not really going to cover for a plant. I thought it was on this side. That's entirely my bad. But the way it's going to play out, it's going to be exactly the same. They still need to have the Monty inside garage, off onto catwalk, and looking to support the team as they force these members of Fnatic back. And given what we said last round, I do want to see the members of Fnatic peeling back. It looks like they already have. They've wasted a bit of utility. They've wasted 75 seconds. Good on them.
Metal is a prolific Montaigne player, has been ever since the dawn of time, really. I mean, even go back as far as 2017 Invitational, he was playing Monty for this team. The most recent time these teams came head-to-head, Season 10 APAC Finals, Fnatic just consistently banned the Montaigne against Giants. So many teams fear Metal's Monty play. But can be a double-edged sword. You're losing one gun, and Metal's a great fragger when he wants to be. So how will this Montaigne come into effect here? At the moment on the back line, as Giants take cash control, Fnatic decided not to contest too hard. They lost out on the game in the previous round. Only got one pick for Giants' 3. So Giants get given this ground, but remember they don't have Jacuzzi open and they show no intention of opening it this round. Metal looking to progress on through.
What's been the magical catchphrase of this game so far? One-dimensional. It's looking to be the same, and maybe here they can split a little bit, and they are maybe looking to do that. They have got one out on the south balcony here, because they started out with east side control, no one can contest this. They've got 2 windows. They can push up through logistics if they want to. They can push someone through construction. There are 4 angles of attack here they can play with. My biggest concern right now is the clock. 30 seconds left, and they still need to find themselves a pick.
Ysera should rotate right now and go for Jacuzzi Wall, because the castle barricades have been destroyed, and it should be free. Metal putting the pressure on, but Jordan finds that first kill.
Beautiful.
Metal with the pistol. That's what we like to see from him. Sticks trying to hold down the 4, but it's not going to happen. Mentalist and Magnet, the last 2 standing, and Metal just harassing them. Nothing you can do, Mag. Surely not. Metal's too good for it, but Magnet's giving it his best shot. Oh, and Metal smacks him back down again. Giants head on to match point.
It's always the feel of against the Monty. You can't deal with him early. Once he starts getting into these power positions, big lungs, in hallways, he can just march you down. It's so difficult to deal with him. It was the same once he had control of logistics, and you had, I think it was the Jaeger penned into Secret Stash. So easy to pick them off there and close things out from there. So goodbye, Giants. They are definitely putting the pressure on here. And this is the biggest test coming out of Fnatic. They know that Monty is on the cards. What can they do to deal with him? The first response is to bring the Legion for Stigs. Makes perfect sense, as we've all seen before. If Monty gets that in his foot, he's got to back off to safety to remove that pin. And if you're on somewhere like Catwalk, when you're on CCTV and Cash, that's a long way to get back outside to be in a safe spot. However, we are heading downstairs. Church and Arsenal, and the Monty is picked away. A nice bait by them. And in fact, that Legion was still going to be useful. Maybe not quite what they had in mind for it in terms of purpose.
In the past, I think a lot of people looked at Giants and said, oh, their Monty play is their crutch. You know, as long as a team can counter that Monty, they're stuffed. But Monty is not a crutch for Metal. Monty is a trump card. He only brings it out when he needs to. And if the first round he brings it out in APAC North League, he gets 2 kills and Giants just crash over Fnatic. That tells you something about it. And now Giants going to keep that pressure up. As you mentioned, Metal was on the Monty, but he's 6 picks onto that IQ, probably because he saw that Legion, in fact, potentially the Pulse. And now Giants will be able to detect as much of those electronics as possible on this downstairs attack. Remember, this bomb site, Giants are yet to win. In fact, Fnatic are currently flawless on the defenses of not only this Church and Arsenal bomb site, but also the Cache CCTV. So while it looks like Giants are on match point in a prime position to take this, in theory, Fnatic should be able to win out the 2 bomb sites they've already won and push this to overtime. So really, we're looking at Giants to break the trend here and take this bottom floor attack.
Yeah, some attacks, I think, on this side especially have been a little bit sketchy. In the first half, we spoke about the constant kitchen takes coming out of the side of Fnatic. In the last round of Giants playing it, we saw a good number of failed grenades, should we say, coming out of Jordan, unfortunately. So hopefully this time around, there's a bit more up to their attacks, looking to get there in a bit quicker time and looking to do so without any self-inflicted casualties. That seems to be the start, almost finding a spray down to Stigs, I believe, who was holding on main stairs. He's down to about a third of his HP, looking to walk away alive in this case.
50 seconds down, as you mentioned, Stigs lit up for it. That'll damage him in his later engagements. We know how aggressive he likes to be, but 1 bullet should be the end of him. Giants, slow and steady take. Last time around, Mentalist was the first one to find a pick, shut down Speakeasy nice on an early, and look, without that, maybe Giants have what it takes to break this egg. Of course, as well, what happened last time Giants attacked this was Jordan not only destroyed the first thermite charge the exothermic charge rather with his grenade, but then eventually killed Ysera with his second grenade. So if we see some nice grenades, fixed grenades from Jordan to remove the mute jammers on the church wall, I can totally see Giants opening up that church wall with the exothermic and being in a prime position to take this.
Still looking to play around the pulse here as well. He isn't wanting to be scared away from playing at the back of Armory. On this scanner is looking to find anyone who's trying to get some holes opened up from above, but they've already backed away and done a bait and switch here. They're pushing into Moto, and he's already dropped inside here. They don't even know by the looks of it as well, so this could be so impactful if he gets into a power position. Luna going to drone him in as well. There is a cheeky little hole there they can use. They know who's at the very back of this. Of course, can't quite spray through because there is what we call pulse wall there, or ash rush wall, take your pick. The most important thing is that they are downstairs and can look to start setting up for an attack. It isn't going to stop Mentalist being the one finding the opening kill onto Luna, mind you. A good pick up from him, and this is going to see them trying to go in a similar spot once again. Church wall is their destination.
But the impact trick comes off successfully, and that's Ysera's last exothermic charge as he used one on the Moto hatch. So Giants, all hope of opening the church wall is thwarted. Now they'll rotate. Mentalist trying to get the info here. He's been the impact player so far for Fnatic, but Giants have 60 seconds to make it work. 4 versus 5 now, and it looks like it may be a desperate attempt, a drop onto the bomb site. Hysterics, where is this rotation? They're going to split up, shape up for perhaps an oil push. Hysterics grabs the diffuser and goes down, but he's taken out. Giants can't plant now. Speakeasy looking to refrag. Sticks finds one as well. Speakeasy gets caught out by Tex. It's all on Hysterics. Gets the pistol, 1 versus 2 now. Is this possible? The camping on the diffuser. Tex surely has this, but there's no way he can make this happen. 1 second, but Tex just has to hide. And Fnatic do just scrape away with that round.
Imagine if there was another 10 seconds there that they decided, okay, we definitely can't get through church wall, let's go and rotate. That round could have played out so differently, or if that pistol shot hadn't put Tex down to about 3 HP. It's the small things in Siege. It's a game in numbers, as we see time and time again, but it does give Fnatic that last final chance here to bring it all even and see us going through into overtime. This is exactly what we expected coming into today, was that these two teams would be so closely stacked up. As you said, the King and the Queen, dare we say, or the two Kings, whatever you want to call it. Either way, it could be two Crown Princes trying to fight out for that grand crown at the top of the table. Well, top of the table, it is a Swiss, but we'll see how things can proceed in the future weeks. I think everyone's looking at them and saying these are two of the best teams in the region. There's no reason why the winner of this one wouldn't sit as the go-to favourites for the rest of the competition.
That's a great point, Des. We're not really sure who's going to shape up in first place for the APAC North League. A lot of these teams have never played in an online league together. Giants, Fnatic, Cyclops, even Cloud9, if you want to get a Korean team in there as well. Like, these guys have never played in a main T1 online league together, because previously APAC Pro League functioned in sub-regions. Fnatic was in ANZ, Giants was in Southeast Asia, Noringo and Cyclops were over in Japan. They only face each other on LAN at APAC finals. And now, well, this is an opportunity to see who's going to be that top dog, that favored team. And you can see both Giants and Fnatic are gunning for that title.
Get the feeling we're going to see these guys clashing an awful lot more in future, and that I think is the beauty of the new system that we have, is that we do see teams clash more frequently throughout the year. It's not only going to be at a LAN environment, so we also get to observe them in the online instance as well. Still, we're seeing the Monty come through, or we're going to see a Monty come through from Luna off towards the attacking side once more. The attack is indeed towards CTTV and Cash. They'll find a spray down on towards Ysera. He's not dead, mind you, but that was incredibly close, and that could have been absolutely catastrophic if you lose your hard breacher this early into the round.
I remember one time, the very first APAC finals ever, Mag was on match point. It was actually playing against Cloud9. They were about to lose, and Magnet goes for a run-out spawn peek and gets a kill. And that just shows the confidence that Fnatic have. But Hysterics, 14th kill on the round, on the game right now, shuts down Lusty, that impact player, with the clutch earlier on.
Just waiting for his head to peek up that lower side of lounge there, because your head is at that perfect height, as you can see here from Mag, but he's being very cautious about this one. Does not want to expose himself to that angle, it seems. They've got the drone on as well, so they know that he's there. He's just saying, come on, give me the free kill. But Mag's going to find a kill regardless, not going to find anything for himself, and doesn't land any shots. Mag is now very aware of that presence, as is Mentalist, so these boys can keep on dancing around lounge as a duo here and trying to pick up what they can. 75 seconds in, we've finally got Luna starting to get up onto catwalk here. We aren't seeing a Legion on the other side, so nothing really to slow him down or impede him right now, but the biggest opposition he's going to face is Stigs upon this catwalk. No, Stigs can't really hurt him, but it is very hard to proceed without first getting him out of the way.
Attackers have
The Luna
located
is
a
so
bomb.
confident on this Monty. He's cleared Rafters on Clubhouse so many times before. He knows he can take the 1v1 against Stigs, but can Stigs hold his ground? No, he's going to back off, decides he doesn't want to take
Attacker's
this
bomb
fight.
diffuser has been
Potentially a
dropped.
smart move
Attackers recovered
for
the bomb
Stigs. Now
diffuser.
remember, there is overtime here in the APAC North League, so Fnatic still have an opportunity to win this map outright if they can win this round.
Winning this round is that big question, mind you. There is still a minute left, and we can see that control of Garage has been taken. But once again, I think we're seeing the walls left reinforced. They haven't blown them open, so it only gives them a one-directional angle of control. It has been the theme throughout this map. We mentioned it a few times yesterday for a couple of teams. It's ringing true here in this same game. Luna's in a good spot here, which is what we spoke about earlier on. If he can get inside sight and start forcing the defenders back, he's in a wonderful position to start passing that intel back and forth. The big question in my mind is it going to be enough? They still haven't got any of the angles to push through. Maybe see someone rotating for construction might be the sort of idea they're going for. But right now, it's a little bit too simple for Fnatic to look out for this.
12v4, Magnet reveals his position with that run out. 25 seconds left. Luna getting aggressive at top red, and that flushes Stigs right on into Speakeasy. Looking for the trade now is Tex, but Luna trades that right on back. 3 versus 1 now. It's all on Mentalist against his former team for the map. Surely he needs to find this. 1 versus 2 against his former captain and his former teammates. Can Mentalist make this happen? He spots out Luna, gets him down! Could this be the clutch? It is! Fnatic take us to overtime.
2-in-1 map. What is this? Lusty in one, Mentalist in the next. Unbelievable. It forces us through to overtime. I think it's the only way this game ever deserved to go. 3 more rounds, and it's going to be Fnatic kicking things off on the defense. Whew. Take a breath, Dev. It's going to get spicy.
I think I have to take more than just one breath. Man, this is nuts. This game never ceases to disappoint. Oh my goodness. Hysterics, 15-8. Lusty, huge impact plays. Mentalist there only found 4 kills this map, and people have got to be critical and say, wow, he's really struggling. But if Mentalist wasn't playing the way he is right now in that last round, this game would be over. And yeah, you can be bottom fragging, you can be playing support, whatever, but if you win a 1 versus 3 clutch, your team is saying, I don't care that you've only got 4 kills, 3 of them just kept us in this.
Hopefully it's enough for them. I mean, over time, no one ever knows which way these things are going to go. You would assume it goes the way it's gone so far, which is a lean towards the set defenders, but time will tell. Now heading downstairs, we'll see if we get more than a one-dimensional attack as we've seen previously.
So, overtime, maybe a bit of a respite for these teams. Fnatic, though, still on that defense, continuing the trend, and well, how will this pan out going downstairs now? Trying to change things a little bit, but of course they were undefeated the first time that they played this, but for the most part that was mistakes on the behalf of Giants.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Wait, no, they actually lost the second time. It was when Hysterics almost got that clutch. Really close call. You could not find finer margins than this, but Fnatic are undefeated so far on this bomb site. And man, I just cannot believe that this game has not disappointed one bit. And now, on this roam clear, fairly successful so far for Giants. Stigs, is he able to shoot a drone or 2? Perhaps 1 thus far. Jordan's lost his first. The Stigs still playing aggressive. You can see Fnatic eager to find an early advantage, but Luna Metal still on that Monty. It's been successful almost every time for Giants. Fnatic need to hold on like they have the previous 2 defenses of this bomb site.
It's more the fact that I see this Monty, and I feel nervous for Fnatic, because we saw the same thing in the last round. What we spoke about before for Luna is, well, run down a nice thin hallway, someone's penned in there, can't really deal with you, and he finds pistol kills. Like, there's a few players around the world you look at on Monty, and a lot of people do play Monty, right? But it's more the fact of who plays Monty, who actually uses him aggressively and tries to find kills off the back of it. Only a few players on that line spring to mind. You think of players like Psycho from NIP, looking at potentially Pengu from G2. Luna is the APAC version of those players, I think it's fair to say.
I mean, Luna and Pengu are the 2 OG Monty players. Maybe Yuna from FaZe, but Luna Metal, he does have the diffuser.
You got to put a LATAM one in there as well.
I've got to. I mean, I love Yuna. Always been a huge fan of that player. Luna Metal pushing up blue. look at how many players he's distracting from Fnatic. C4, ooh, I like that. You don't detonate it. It just means that he can't push forward. And now another player from Giants will have to shoot that C4. Ysera, I believe, looking to push in through dirt, but most of Fnatic still distracted here on oil. Eventually, though, Luna Metal.
A bomb has been located.
I was going to say he took it by himself, but there was someone who dropped down in oil behind him, I think, to help deal with that. Didn't want to really risk it. You've got Hysterics coming in as well, so this is a different take. We are seeing Blue being the main focal point. The question is, can they actually take full control of this one? So far, it seems like yes. Hysterics going to find one. Speakeasy a second. That's Tex and Mentalist removed from the board. Nice and easy. And Hysterics makes it a second. They've got control of dirt. They've got control of blue. They've got everything they need here. And have now got to deal with the one playing inside church and one playing at the very back of Armory. They know where they are. The pings are in for the defenders as well. But it's a lot to do inside 15 seconds. If they can just hold on here, we've seen two massive clutches. Lusty was one of the players that did so, but the diffuser's gone down. It's a horrible post plant here in a 2 versus 5. Now into a 2 versus 4.
Bagnet taken out all on Lusty. He's done the 1v4 before. Can he do it again? That's the first one he needs. Remember, Ysera, aggressive in dirt, so low on HP. Is Lusty capable of replicating the clutch that we praised him for earlier? Ysera backing on off. Lusty needs to find this kill so we can focus on elsewhere. 1 versus 2 now, but only 6 seconds to find these last 2 kills. It's just not possible. He has to stick it. And now Giants know that this round is theirs. Another successful attack. They break the trend and crack the egg. That is Church and Arsenal, and they are back on match point.
Well, you gotta love the Outer being able to walk around every corner and spray it down, just in case someone is there, but with no worry of running out of bullets anytime soon. But sadly, time is the worst enemy there in that post plant, and Giants do indeed find themselves now ahead. That is an attacking round 1. I have some concerns. It's a defensive side. We know how that's gone so far, and Giants are the ones on the defense here. It could end 8-6. If they manage to swing this one back, it is anyone's guess how the map is going to conclude in the final and 15th round.
I could not be more on the edge of my seat right now, Des. This is, I mean, it used to be. I only had to feel stressed out about a Fnatic Giants game every 3 months. Now, every few weeks, right? Because they're actually playing each other online. Oh man, if Fnatic win this, that's an insane comeback in asserting themselves as dominant in the Asian region, which they have just joined APAC North. But if Giants win this, they're continuing to be that dominating force over Fnatic and making that head-to-head between them so much closer, continuing this vicious rivalry. Either way, the one thing that's for certain is I'm going to be disappointed whoever wins, because my heart's going to break both ways.
Well, I can just stand here at the sidelines. You kind of got how we feel yesterday in some of our games, and today it's your turn to experience pain. That's all I'm going to say. Let's see how it shapes up, though. Whether it is Fnatic, the 6th Invitational 2020, hopefuls, I'd say, for all of the APAC region, had a solid performance there, finishing 5th and 6th kind of joint. Whereas Giants, equally not without their era of greatness, without previous strong results. Maybe not so much lately, but still with all the possibility to do so. Looking at this round, first thing your eyes are going to be drawn to, no doubt, is Mentalist on this fuse. And I guarantee that few people look at this and think, oh, he's trolling. Why the hell is he bringing a fuse? On this side, it is phenomenal. What most teams will look to do is open up the hallway or opening up kitchen and look to use that to kind of get some sight lines in, contest those in the back of Armory. What does Fuse do instead? He removes space. People downstairs cannot stay within range of where those grenades are going to go off. They have to back away. It is so good for clearing out the backside of Armory, having someone drop through Hatch, for example, and then being in a spot where no one can push. Commonly what we've seen a few teams do is plant one around the boxes area, off towards the east of Armory, and then stick one in towards the left-hand side at the very back of it. So anyone that does try and make something happen is going to find themselves getting torn asunder, and they're forced to abandon Armory in its entirety. Really smart.
I like the choice from Mentalist as well. Really well timed to hop off that Kali, which he was bringing almost every round on the attack previously, but Fnatic were confident that Giants would pick in the bottom floor, and they were correct. Church and Arsenal, indeed it is. Mentalist with still 2 cluster charges left. How will he use them? Likely for that execute the first one just to clear util in the hallway, but now Fnatic look to this kitchen hatch. Consistently, Fnatic were prioritizing that kitchen hatch drop. Evil Eye dispatched with thanks to Stigs on the grenade. Very nice. But Fnatic, a minute and a half to keep their dream alive.
Yeah, Mentalist still with 2 charges as well. There goes the next one, and now you should plant one off towards the west side to clear it out, but I'm pretty sure they know that no one is down there because the Sledge has been doing good work. And because no one can contest with impact nades underneath those explosives, it's all too simple to get this hatch open, and they've still got one left for a rainy day should Mentalist choose to save it for a little bit later on.
I think he's going to use it to try and clear out utility at short. Indeed it is. So, oh, and that's actually going to go as well into Arsenal. So Fnatic, I believe, actually opened up this nice little rush opportunity through from bottom main stairs into Armory. Now Giants just holding on. 1 minute left. Still a 5 versus 5. We wait in anticipation for the action to engage.
Attackers have located a
Also
bomb.
managed to get dirt opened up here. We saw this previously, but they chose to leave it. We've already seen Mag coming up against Ysera inside of there. It was all about time wasting Ysera's time, most importantly for Mag, because it meant he couldn't contest from dirt when the drop did come through. So you're about to see 2 minutes of prep work all culminate together here and lead to an explosive ending in this round. I'm feeling confident for Fnatic, even more so now they've found that opening kill.
The plant going down from Styx. He gets off it for just a moment. Is Giants able to deny? There's 20 seconds left, but this could be the angle Jordan needs. Meanwhile, Fnatic are tearing Giants apart, but there is an answer. There is a response. 2 players left for Fnatic. It's Lusty and Magnet. They've been so huge recently, and now Lusty needs to make this happen. He's taken out. Magnet can't get the diffuser, and Giants take down Fnatic and lock out the map in an 8-6 victory.
Oh my word. Just when it looked to be going so well for Fnatic, the setup coming out of Sledge, coming out of the Fuse, they were creating so much space for themselves, dealing with all the utility and being like, this is easy, guys. Come on, we can drop, we can push main stairs. It's not a problem. Those inside Church didn't really know where the attack was going to come from at any given time, but it looks so set up. The problem is, I said it on the last map, I'll say it on this one. Siege is a game that no matter how good you're set up, if you do not connect to your shots, you are still going to lose the game. It's so unfortunate. Fnatic played really well, but equally, Giants, I think it's fair to say this isn't going to be the one-team league. I think some external watchers may have said, looking at Fnatic, Giants are here to play. As no doubt, many others will be.
Yeah, we are looking at 2 of the best teams in the region, and what a show we were given. I think this is our first overtime we've had so far in any of our, well, obviously we don't have any in EU, but in our APAC
I was about to say, where are you going with this?
A well-deserved, all right, just let's brush that one under the rug, eh? All right, well-deserved for Giants. What a game to witness, and, well, that feud between these 2 loving teams does continue.
What I loved there was the passion for you at the end, James, as well. It was like you were watching a World Cup final where your 2 sweethearts, you had 2 sons in the game playing on either side, and you didn't know which one you wanted to win. But ultimately, as you saw, Giants being at 8-6, that has been genuinely a phenomenal game. We mentioned at the start that we've seen a mix of kind of play styles there. We saw a little bit of the EU utility-based meta. We've seen the kind of crazy gunfights that erupt in the final 20 seconds that maybe we're more used to seeing out of places like APAC. This blend of styles is going to make a really interesting season. So forget what you knew about APAC before. It's all changing, and it is so damn enjoyable to watch.
What's fantastic about having APAC North League all together rather than the sub-regions, Southeast Asia, Japan, Korea, like we've had in the past, is it means instead of having 8 teams per sub-region, and you've got 3 different sub-regions where they don't play each other as much, you have 12 teams, all who can hold their own, feeding off each other and challenging each other to improve. And that's exactly what we see here. Fnatic can't be complacent. And not that they are, they're absolutely not. They are giving it their all. But Giants and Fnatic, if they can keep pushing each other, it's going to elevate the skill ceiling of the entire region. That starts today, and it's been a pleasure to watch.
You look back over some of the clutches we saw as well from a few of those players. Fnatic are the big ones pulling it out. A couple of rounds there, absolutely insane. Like I say, I think I'm going to sleep tonight watching that Lusty one back over a good few times. It was incredible. Well done again to Medics for some fantastic observing. But I hear our analysts are ready to speak to you guys about what their thoughts are on that game.